Hey everybody, we're going over Double or Nothing today, and it was a blast. It was a hoot. I can almost forgive them for screwing up the train line colors because this pay-per-view was great from top to bottom, including a mythical outside of Japan Okada 5-star match. They're not mythical, they're just rare. But damn, if he didn't get a 5-star, Meltzer is falling off. We need to go to Meltzer's office with pitchforks and stuff because it's a wrap. It's over. We have to slay him like Dracula. But let's talk about the pre-show first. The buy-in. We got the Real Deal, Zeta Steel and Viva Van. I feel like the Real Deal is all Zeta's thing because it rhymes with her name. But I don't know what makes them the Real Deal or what's going on. I think this is a Ring of Honor situation, which I am not at all interested in. Sorry, guys. I just put it somewhere I can see it. I'm not going to pay that much money for something that I'm not sure I'm even going to like. So put it on regular TV. Put it on YouTube. I think that YouTube is the way to go here. Definitely just do it like Dark. People love Dark. And it got a lot of people over. Isn't that what you want Ring of Honor to kind of do? But I heard of these ladies before, so I was like, okay, this is not going to be too bad of a squash. And you know what? It wasn't too bad of a squash. It was alright. It was alright. When you see who they're facing, it's not a good time. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna illustrate right here. If I can find my brush. I have my it's Madden time. It's time to go into Madden mode. See, I'm gonna tell you the problem with this stable. The girls here, they're fantastic. We love them. This right here, this guy is the problem. I'm not even sure if you can see that, but it's him. He's the problem because guess what? Dude has never gotten anyone over in AEW. He just hasn't. And I don't think it's going to start now. I honestly think Christopher Daniels needs to stay off screen and do his job backstage. Because, as a manager, he does nothing for anybody. He just kind of, I don't know, it kind of feels like he stinks up the joint. You see Christopher Daniels with somebody and you know they're not going to go anywhere. Yeah, I think it's over, especially with what is Chris Daniels right now? What is his thing? Yeah, I don't like it. Free these girls from him ASAP. But that's not, what we're here for. We're not here for the Real Deal, unfortunately. They're going to have a match against the biggest ladies in the company. Not bigger than me, if I was there, I'm saying, calling my shot. I could probably last 5 minutes with these ladies. Just based on the fact that I'm about the same height as them. Because maybe that's what's going on here. Maybe these two ladies are not losing because nobody is their height. Call Tony, let him know I challenged them for the open challenge. Just me by myself. But no, I think they did great as usual. And you know what? There was actually a variation in this match. It wasn't just big ladies kill everybody and they go home, which I understand is a big issue with a lot of people right now. They are literally holding a gun, shaking and crying to Tony Khan's head. They just want a women's show. I think that they're not going to be happy with just more women's matches. What they want is a women's show. And unfortunately, the people begging for it are not going to be the people that's going to watch it. I feel like a lot of people want stuff, but will not turn out for it when it matters. So I really want the ladies to have more time, but the gimmick is that they're huge and they kill people really quick because they're huge. So I don't know. I think that if you did, in fact, put the belts on another team, you get more time. You get more women's stories being explored just based on the fact that the storyline isn't these two women are undefeatable. I don't know. You can do something with that and make it interesting. Because right now, I don't really see that it is. The clock is fun, but I think we need more backstage with them. That's it. They're just the gods of the women's division, and they don't got nothing to say about it. I don't know. I want more for these ladies, but I feel like maybe they are in trouble in that I don't think they're the talkers. I think that's Penelope Ford, right? Oh, poor Penelope. She got hurt. But yeah, I think, you're going to get more women. I think everybody needs to calm down and let it happen. Let it play out. Tony's actually a guy that actually, does stuff when you wait for things to happen. Not all the time, because we still have the goddamn Death Riders for some reason. But it's gonna be okay, everybody. It's gonna be okay. It's not a crisis. And I thought this match was great. And like I said, there was a variation in it, which is, let's see where we're at here. The variation, this opening is really long, so it's hard to pinpoint the timestamps. So the thing with these ladies is that, check out that time. The match is finna end, and they almost lost the time limit, which means, like, I don't know what that means. If they survive past the time limit, do they get another title shot without the time limit? Because this is the title match, right? Or am I insane and this is just an eliminator? Whichever is the case, I really do love the timer clock. I think it looks great with the light glowing and the lady logo. It's very good. It's very good. And also Megan Bayne. It just has great iconography, and I think that she's really helping her tag partner, like, because they look so different. I think that it's good that you get them to, like, stand out. Whereas FTR had the problem of people going, yeah, that's FTR dude and FTR dude B. And then they just started calling them FTR bald and FTR hair. And then we've now landed fully on FTR gun and FTR hair. I mean, FTR bald, sorry. He also has glasses now. I think that Dax wearing glasses is 10 out of 10 heel work. I don't know what it is, but him wearing glasses, he just looks like a Karen to me. But yeah, these ladies, they're starting to lose their luster. 45 seconds. I like that. I'm digging where this story is going. It's going there slowly, which is Tony's real problem, in that he doesn't know how to just shit or get off the pot. Like, Tony's draws these storylines out so long that by the time it's time to shit on the pot, the person who's in the storyline has been wrestling for weeks and is now injured. How many times has that happened? Tony, just do the thing. Pull triggers, buddy. Pulling triggers is gonna get people to actually watch instead of looking at their watch and going, okay, when is this storyline gonna conclude? So come on, I like that we're starting to speed things up and be more snappy, but I think we need to add more pull triggers. At least one pull trigger an episode. But he likes to wait the whole month and a half until the next pay-per-view, which is fine, but, like, you gotta get a reason that people watch, like, let's say Collision. If you pull a couple triggers on Collision, people start watching it. But I love this angle. It's pretty cool. Then you had what I like to call the swan song of the Ops. By the way, this match, even on Cage Match, it doesn't get a rating because it's under 5 minutes, and I'm like, you know what, I respect that. So I'm also not going to give it a rating because it's under 5 minutes. We're going to rate things like a test. I'm not out here to give snowflakes. I'm just out here to watch as a fan, and I'm not out here trying to tell anybody how to do anything, except for Jon Moxley. Get more interesting, bro. Literally, that's my only advice as a fan. I can't really give them wrestling advice. You know, I can't really be like, you suck at wrestling, kid, because nobody does anymore, and I'm just a person watching this. But what I can say is, I am not interested in X, Y, and Z. And the Ops, luckily for me, even though it was by the Death Riders, seem to have gotten destroyed. Let's see if I can get that timestamp. One day I'm going to do this, like, bam, and land on it perfect. That's a pretty cool visual. But yeah, the Ops versus the Death Riders, it's kind of a foregone conclusion, right? I don't even think they needed to have this match. This match was just so we can get some Shibata on TV, which, listen, every time I get Shibata on TV, I ain't going to be upset about it, because I love Shibata. I think he's fantastic, and he's the best member of the Ops, and Samoa Joe is in it. I love Joe, but he, like, wrestles very, what's the word? He's starting to wrestle his age, and it makes me, even though, like, he kicked some ass and brought back some stuff and did some awesome stuff tonight, I'm worried about how long we have with Joe. Because I can see him totally just going, okay, I've helped all I can help. I can't help no more. I'm going to go and do more Hollywood stuff. Because he's a fantastic actor, voice acting and on the main big screen. Which is probably why, if I was them, I would have let Samoa Joe use his actual voice for Sweet Tooth instead of dubbing over him, because Joe has an incredible voice. But yeah, Death Riders win. I don't know what you want. There's nothing really here to talk about. It was the match, and it happened. This is my least enjoyed match in the buy-in, and the first match was 5 minutes, less than that. First match was a squash, and I was like, yeah, nah, this sucks. Anyway, back to the back to the squash match. I know what it sounds like. I am not enjoying myself so far, but oh boy, was the match was pretty good. I just could not tell you what happened in it other than the Ops lost. It wasn't particularly memorable. It just felt like it was there to waste time with big stars, which is fine. Get your paycheck, y'all. Then there was a segment with Mick Foley. Oh wait, no, not yet. The next thing on my timestamp list here is my boy. Let me see if I can get the timestamp. This is not even the right. Oh, that's just the thing before it. There we go. I wanted to do something with you guys. In fact, I love Shane Taylor's promotion, and I think Shane Taylor promotion has the best music. Like, goddamn, they have some of the best music in the company. But I'm gonna go back to the start of their entrance, and we're actually gonna play this through. And I don't want to get into any trouble here, but so I'll make myself really big so that Tony is like, "Hey, what you doing?" So I'll make myself really big to kind of like this is like my own personal like filter of the thing. Let's be up here, because what I want you guys to notice is the bottom of the screen. So we got the entrance. The music is badass. It's thumping. People out here, hot fire. Also, I love that the stage is a giant New York scaffold. We do get a shout out for the city of New York and their scaffolds. If you always wonder why there was so many in New York, I forgot to edit out the Christopher Daniels. There we go. If you're wondering why there's so many scaffolds, it's because New York is too cheap to pay to replace the bricks, and it's cheaper to have scaffolding and pay the fines for that than replace the bricks on the old buildings. But did you notice something about this entrance? It couldn't have just been me. I can't be like that blind that I didn't notice that STP here didn't get a freaking nameplate. What the hell? And they did so many cool poses waiting for a nameplate to pop up, and nothing happened. It's like when you're playing SmackDown versus Raw and you accidentally forget to put the nameplate in. So put some respect on Sean Taylor and his promotions, please. Get them a nameplate. But now that I'm done with that, I love Sean Taylor promotions, and I think that they need to be on TV more. I think we need to get them out of the Ring of Honor doldrums. There's a lot of people that don't deserve to be in Ring of Honor. And I know that sounds harsh. It's just that I feel like, I think I mentioned this before, but everybody doesn't. This might be somebody's first stream. So I think that if you wrestle, if a wrestler wrestles in the forest and nobody's around to watch it, does it happen? Is it fair to make these guys put wear and tear on their bodies and nobody's watching it? And like, yeah, I get it's like, oh, some people are watching it. Not the vast majority of your audience. They're not going to pay for, Ring of Honor. Now, I think a big news story that broke this week is that Tony was saying, hey, I want to make my AEW a hub for all wrestling. I want to make all wrestling more easily accessible, which means that's it for Triller. Everybody pour one out. If you will, clear your throat and sing It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday by Boyz II Men, and pour that 40 down on the concrete outside for Triller. It's over. Apparently they're not going to survive. I think this wrestling season that just happened was a big boost for them, but without WrestleMania weekend, Triller is kind of pointless for a lot of people. But if you have my AEW and you can access AEW stuff and indie stuff and Ring of Honor, then I think you have a reason to have Ring of Honor and keep it around. The problem with my AEW is that it's not available in the United States where they're based. So this is not helping you there. That's a problem, and I think they have to make some sort of television rights deal in order to do that, and they won't be able to put like Dynamites on immediately. I think Dynamites might have to wait like a month or two before they're uploaded, so it won't be like, oh man, I missed Dynamite, let me turn on my AEW. I think that there'll still be some rights issues with that, but I do believe it's time for my AEW to be accessible to everybody. Just don't let Dynamites be accessible to everybody. I don't know how hard that is to achieve, but considering it's a outside of America only thing, it sounds kind of doable. But I'm not a tech bro, so I don't know. It's just something I noticed. Also, we're getting our boys here, getting their New York pop. I remember now, like there was Big Boom AJ and the conglomeration are here. At first, I thought it was just, you know, the Rizzler with the conglomeration, because you know he has his little Orange Cassidy jacket. They're down. Also, can we get the Rizzler a Rizzler version of Orange's shirt, please? Because I'm sure the Rizzler could sell that as merch and like have his own ProWrestlingTees.com store. I know they're not affiliated with AEW, but it'll be a nice way for Rizzler to make some side cash. But this wasn't the problem. I was like, okay, I don't know where Big Boom AJ is. He's from the area. I watched him in Indy there when I was back in the States before I moved to bumfuck nowhere, Canada. I went to see this guy in the Indies, and I just like, man, this guy is like John Cena with how popular he is with kids. It's something I thought back then. So seeing him finally get a shot and get on TV and kids actually love what he's doing, incredible. I'm so happy for him. I'm happy for 9 out of 10 New Yorkers who make it big. There's one New Yorker in particular that you all know that nobody likes and nobody should like. F that guy. But all the other New Yorkers except for that one, pretty good, pretty good. If you're wondering who I'm talking about, I'm just gonna, it's a politician. It's a politician from New York. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to talk about that here. I just want to have fun and talk about wrestling, though. But fuck that one politician. Anyway, so I was having a great time. I also love the way when the nameplates do show up, actually, that they're like on a subway, like on a subway entrance. These are the entrances, if you've never been, that on the side here, like in this area, or around this area, more like, you enter the subway and you go down into the subway. These lights on top of it, though, are not on every one of these because some of them are in the hood and they just don't feel like furnishing the hood. So I've only ever seen these like downtown. But yeah, awesome. And I don't think they look like this. I do believe they're green to catch your attention, to be like, hey, idiot, this is the subway. So I love that. We're having a good time, living our life, having an entrance, and then the goddamn, let's see if we get a close-up shot of it. But there's a Viva Coco, Viva Coco Humunculus. Vita Coco. Like, I've remembered this. This is absolutely a New Yorican classic right here. The problem is, I don't want homunculuses in my AEW wrestling. Get out of here. We got banners on the sidebar right here. Right here. We are fully aware of, you know, your product. Here on the ring when we get to it, we don't need you. That's unnecessary. So let's, there's even, I think they're on the ring post. Or I think that they changed the screens in the back here. That's Athena broke one of earlier, which I love when wrestlers break the screen. I think it's the coolest thing. But let me see if I can get a square. This whole area gets turned into advertisement for Vita Coco. We don't need this. We don't ever need a homunculus. If you put yourself into a position to be compared to WWE in any way, that's bad. That's not good. That's bad. But maybe I think Tony is like, to fit in with sports, we need a homunculus. Not true. I hope that's where the advertising like WWE ends, by the way. But yeah, I didn't like the homunculus. I mean, I am very happy for Big Boom AJ. Very sad that the homunculus didn't get killed in this episode. Because last time we saw Rizzler, he was getting destroyed by Trent. Trent kicked him or something. And we got, boss, you killed the child. But no, nobody got killed today. It was just a happy good time, including a happy good time with fellow New Yorkers, Eddie Kingston and friend of the show, Angel Ortiz, who I this is very dumb, but I used to not I didn't do backyarding myself, but I was a manager in the backyard fed that he was in. So me and him, I don't want to say we go way back. We do, but like me and him are not. We don't have each other's phone numbers or anything. But I'm so happy for Monkey, man. So happy. I remember like thinking I never thought that he'd be the one out of everybody there to actually make it. You know, there was some people with some crazy gimmicks, but he just had the ability, you know? He was probably the best wrestler there. But yeah, big up to Monkey. I'm so happy to see you on screen. And I'm glad that Tony said, hey, this is the New Yorker match. Send him out there. This was so sad. I'm not going to play it because I feel really bad. And also, I don't want Tony to come for me. But this, I love a Tower of Doom. I love it. I know people are like, that happens all the time. Not in AEW. Sparingly, you might get one in a Young Bucks party match. So like, we're averaging about 2 to 3 Towers Doom a month, you know? So whenever I see one, I'm very excited. Here though, poor damn, I'm so bad with names. Poor QT Marshall, there we go. He completely whiffed this, jumped off, had to bail and jump off the turnbuckle and screwed up the finish. And I was so sad for him. But we did, don't worry, we cheer everybody up by bringing out the other New Yorkers to come. And yeah, he got busted open by accident. But it made him just kind of look cooler. I don't know, it makes him look more like, yeah, he's more than just a specialty guy. But man, seeing Eddie Kingston in such good shape and in such good spirits, I don't know, it just warmed my heart. I am a big fan of the King, Eddie Kingston. I'm a big fan of Uncle Eddie, and I always only want his success. So I was happy to even see him on the buy-in. Speaking of the buy-in, we got more stuff here with it. Let's see. I almost nailed this timestamp on the first click. Almost. But yeah, this happened. Mick Foley is now All Elite, and he did the buy-in, and he pretty much talked to MJF about, you know, fortitude or whatever. More New Yorkers, by the way. This ring is just, there hasn't been New Yorkers, a match without New Yorkers in it for quite some time on this show, and I'm digging it. But he's from Long Island, so is it really New York? Not Long Island. What is it? I think he is from Long Island. Yeah, that is New York. Screw this guy. I'm tired of him. Is he but Mick Foley is not from New York City proper, but he definitely, you will see him on public transportation. Mick Foley is not going to spend any money on gas. He is not doing it. He is riding the subway. You will see him, and he'll be very very happy to wave at you if you wave at him. But yeah, he tells him off, like, hey, you're an asshole. You can't be going about life being an asshole. And then he gets kicked in the balls because MJF, but that's okay. Darby Allin gets a pep talk from Uncle Mick. I love that we see the DNA that makes Darby Allin in the people who have mentored him and had matches with him. You got Jeff Hardy as, you know, cousin Jeff, passed him that torch, and then promptly left the company. Like, I cannot compete with him. Uncle Mick's coming in, giving some words of encouragement, and then you got Dad Sting, who, you know, said, hey, you seem to fit the mold, Darby. And then that was so obvious that the new Crow was just a guy that looks like Darby Allin, and I love that for them. I love that things are going in a circle like this. I don't know, life is a flat circle in wrestling, and sometimes that's great. But yeah, this was a great moment just to see these guys all together. But now we move on to the show proper, and we get Cope and Cage versus FTR in the I Quit match. I forgot to rate the SCP Boom match as a test, but man, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna grade anything on the pre-show unless it's like blows my socks right off. But we're in the show proper right now, so we're gonna get some actual grades. Get excited. So we got, let's see if I can get the timestamp this time. It's deep in there too. Oh no, it's not. The first one should be actually here, where Dax hurts his fingies hitting that chair on that cinder block. I love that it looks like a pretty real cinder block, because usually the fake ones crumble instantly, and like if Dax hit a fake one with the chair, it would have broke. But because his arm is pretty safe in that hole, this is looks like a pretty safe spot to me. But it looks brutal, looks awesome. And of course, he gets asked, "Hey, do you quit?" And he lets them know of what he does with their moms. Christian is the best. He's number one in the best. He's just an asshole, and that's what we like about him. Also, it feels like that kick to the balls that he does is just like a signature move, if not a replacement for the Unprettier. But I love that. And yeah, he does not give the answer that they want. New ref alert. I do not know this ref's name. If you can tell me what homie's name is, I would be very pleased to know it. Because I like knowing the refs, you know? I think that WWE had a policy of the refs are supposed to be invisible and we don't care about them, and I don't like that. These shows are made possible because of all the people involved, including the referees. Would love to know who he is. But we got Stokely, who's feeling himself here. He is so happy. Life is good for Stokely in this match. Also, considering this match was a hardcore-ish match without the ability to do a lot of blood stuff, it was good. It was actually a good match. The finish was kind of, I will say, Spike looking so obviously fake today really hurt the finish, but it's hard to really pay attention to that when, you know, what I'm about to show you happens. So Stokely's feeling himself. Look how excited he is. And then Stokely is no longer feeling himself. And that's because he's still upset. And that's because Beth Phoenix shows up. Although here I think she's just Beth. Stokely, if you could just have a camera on Stokely at all times, he'd be your reaction GIF specialist. But she looks incredible. And I love the Vikings hair because, you know, her boo is on the show Vikings, or was. I'm not sure if that show's even still going, but Edge was on the show Vikings. That man got his SAG card. He's in Vikings. He was in Highlander back in the day. He's in Percy Jackson. I think he's Ares in Percy Jackson, which is very funny to me for some reason. Just because when I think of Ares, I think of the hunky sexy guy from either Hades or the hunky sexy guy from Xena. And then when you're like, oh yeah, nah, it's Edge, who looks like a scarecrow, I'm like, yeah, sure, okay, that's the God of War, I guess. Yeah, sure, man, okay. Yeah. I get that they probably wanted a big looking wrestler to do it, but Kevin Nash was right there. That man also has his SAG card. But yeah, I love her hair. I love that she's still jacked as fuck. I love that the face paint she got going on is giving me Luna Vachon vibes. I love everything about Beth Phoenix, and I wonder if she's not going by Beth Phoenix, can we call her Beth Firebird? Because I'm okay with that too. She came out to get her revenge against FTR, and I'm so glad to see her. I don't know if she's on the show in AEW proper. She didn't get a graphic, so probably not. She was probably just here to get her revenge. But she showed up looking like her and Natty can open up that MMA, that like worked MMA promotion today. Like if they both wanted to do that, I'd be on board. I think she looks incredible, and that she can still kind of, not if she does, she probably doesn't want to work anymore, and if she does, that'll be cool. But I can see her just being on that show with her presence because she looks so cool. Come on, Beth, you can't waste this look. It's so good. Oh man, imagine if she was the mouthpiece for the Goddess tag team that's the champions. Oh my god, that would actually be a really good role for her. But yes, the Glamazon. I also miss her doing her taunt. That taunt is like top 10 wrestling taunts is the Beth Phoenix raising up the Phoenix taunt. But yeah, this was awesome. If I had to grade this match like a test, I gotta give it a B- for the really fake Spike. Spike looked awful. Also, I gotta give it a B- because even though I love Beth, she was just not in position at any point, and she tried her best. But when she was actually in position, it took her a minute, but she got there and everything was fine. But yeah, probably a B- for this match. What did Cage Match say? Let's see. Let's see. That's the buy-in. I'm on another screen with Cage Match. Let's see. Okay, the I Quit match. That match got an 8.25, which is pretty good. That's a really good score. It's a green score. It's not even. That's about what I gave it. So that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad that we're on the same page so far. Cage Match. But anyway, time for the next match. Wait, I think I might have some more stuff in this one. Some more. Yes, I do have another timestamp in this particular match. Oh yes, of course. So the Flaming Table. I love this spot. I love that we get this spot from the Edge versus Mick Foley match while Mick Foley is now in the company. I thought that was cool. And I love that it was better this time. Like, I personally thought that the Edge versus Mick Foley match was mid and that the fire table spot was the best part. So I'm very excited to see that they at least did this bit. And I love the shot of Dax setting it on fire because it was like it went up from his midsection and it followed the flame across the table. And I think that AEW is doing spectacular camera work. And there's another cameraman I got to give shouts out to here during the Women's Owens match later. But yeah, the fire spot was great. It explains this why Stokely is wearing this Darth Vader-esque jacket. And I was like, man, I wonder if Stokely was always wearing that jacket just to get us used to it. So when he takes a fire bump, he'd be okay. Because, yeah, you need clothes to take the fire bump. Because you usually have some, fire retardant gel on. And then, like, some sort of fire retardant layer under your outfit. But I like this a lot. I wonder if Stokely's going to ditch the jacket. Even though I really like the Darth Vader one. Let's see if I can actually get a shot of the shot with Dax I'm talking about. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil the whole thing. I don't want Tony Khan to, fish hook me. So we're going to move on. And Okada versus Takeshita. I'm not even going to say much about this match, except if you haven't seen it, you need to. This is a match that if you haven't watched any wrestling this year, this is the one. This is the match. 5 stars. 5 stars. This match was incredible. I love how they played off each other and they wrestled like they've done this dance before. Like they've danced so often that they kind of know each other's stuff and what everybody's going to do. It was an awesome match. A match that Takeshita ended up winning. So give this match a watch. 5 stars. I got to give this match a 10 out of 10. I thought it was fantastic. An A+. If I'm not just an A+ on the test, I'm giving this an A+ with a little gold star and a see me after class for a pizza party. But what happens next? What happens next is the problem. So you probably already know what happens, but I'm gonna have you guys go through what I went through when I was watching it. These guys, Kyle came out. I started screaming, losing my mind. Oh my God, Kyle! Kyle is back. My boy Kyle. Kyle gets in the ring. He hugs Takeshita, and I believe 100% that this is a real hug. These two are legitimately friends, and I can see Kyle actually legitimately embracing his friend after not just wrestling Okada, but beating him and kind of like surpassing him in the fact that he won the title off of him. This is a big deal for Takeshita in his career, and I'm sure Kyle actually wanted to, hug him in this moment. So I think that, yeah, this is a real hug with real feelings, but then he's like, all right, back to business. I gotta fake up the hugs. Because I don't know. It just felt so real, and I don't think a lot of that is due to acting. I think a lot of it is due to actual feelings, you know. Takeshita too, when he saw him, the smile he had on his face. But yeah, it's also we got an I love you Shawn Michaels moment with Takeshita bowing to Okada before saying goodbye and trying to kick his fucking head clean off his body. Love this match. And I wish that there was love though in the world. So I'm gonna show you my reactions on tumblr.com when I was posting on Tumblr. I was also posting on Blue Sky, but here's the one from Tumblr. If I could find it. Nope, that's the wrong one. Hi guys. I thought that was the one, but it might be. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. You're seeing live. Me trying to figure this out. Okay, here we go. So, it's supposed to be showing up. What the devil? It's there, but there's no image. There I go. I think this is it. There it is. You know, it's not a stream without some technical difficulties. Am I right? So yeah, this is what I said at first on tumblr.com. Everything is great. And I thought I was right about this simply because, like, they were hugging. Everything was fine. This moment right here where, like, he raises his hands. He's like, oh my God, Takeshita, you did it. When he raises his hand, the music is playing. And I was taught, I was conditioned even. So when I hear the music playing like that in a segment, you know what that means. The segment's over. We're done now. Everybody's going to go to the back. Love has won. I was wrong, though. I was wrong. Love did not win. Love is phony. Love is fake. What's love? What is it, anyway? Fuck you, Kyle, dude. Like, I legitimately started screaming, and I was trying so hard to not scream too loud because it was late, and I had my friends on Discord, but I was so fucking overwhelmed with grief that I was just fucking screaming. So yeah, that was my first reaction to the goings on, and then it became this meme of Hudson. Oh shit, sorry. Put it back up if it wasn't up there long enough. If I can figure it out. There it is. Yeah, this meme of Hudson that I made for a while ago when I was reviewing Gargoyles. Because, like, what the fuck? We thought love was real. Not only that, every person on my feed on both Blue Sky and Tumblr.com was just like, killing myself, everybody. We're going. That's it. Life's over. What's the point of living? Everyone was so sad and distraught about this. That damn, you got us, Tony. You got us. You did it. Good job. My heart's broken, but good job, I guess. That was a good angle, I guess. I'm gonna just be over here in tears. Do not try to find me. Oh, my heart's so broken. Ugh. How could this happen, dude? And the worst part is, this motherfucker, right? Homie over here is like, yeah, I got betrayed by Kyle before, and I watched him betray Takeshita, but he ain't gonna betray me again. Bro thinks can't get fooled again. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again. Bro, he's gonna betray you next. I'm just saying, you need to get out while the getting is good. So we had this incredible match with Athena and Mina Shirakawa for the Owen. A lot of people are upset that why aren't we putting a match on they got upset because the Willow match was removed from the card and they just kind of didn't replace it. And it's like, less women. This is Tony's secret plan to hide all the women from us. And it's like, yeah, Tony's the kind of guy that wants to promote stuff, and I can see him going, okay, it's a what is the word? It's a wild card, and I want that wild card to be something fun I could do on Dynamite as opposed to something that happens on pay-per-view, you know? I feel like, honestly, losing a match from the main card is not all that bad because of how long these shows go, but I'm not upset with this. I think that he was put in a hard position, and he'd had to scramble at the very, very, very last minute to find somebody to take her place, and it just probably made more sense to take the whole match off the card instead of, like, scramble to replace Will with somebody who doesn't measure up, not even close. So, I get that. Especially since this is a tournament for a shot at the title. There's going to be some restructuring going on, and I understand that that takes time, so I'm not too upset. But what I really do enjoy out in this match, this camera shot, the camera tracking around the ring like this, incredible. And also the steady hand of the guy holding the camera, big ups for those shots, awesome. I also really like the spot where Athena, like, knocks Mina into the board, and it shorts the board out. Although I was a little sad when it didn't happen when Joe did it later to Will, because it looked like he hit him way harder. But maybe Tony saw what happened to the first board and went, hey, somebody reinforce those boards out there after this match, because we need them for the rest of the night. But I love when the board breaks, and I wonder if it's like real break of the board or if it's like worked. Like they had a thing backstage where they went, hey, I'm gonna throw Mina into the board. Can you like make the board show it out? Also, I love that but maybe not, because when Athena did it, it looked like she was surprised by it too. Like, oh shit, did I break the board? So I thought that was really cool. They don't have that even in the highlights, so I don't think it was on purpose. Great match though. If I had to grade this like a school test, I would give it an A. Absolutely A of a match. Let's see what's Cage Match thought. So about Takeshita versus Okada really quick. Cage Match said that was a 9.54, and they're right. They're right. That's like nearly a 10. Almost a perfect match. Personally, I'd say it's a 10, but we're very close in our opinions. Cage Match. And for the women's quarterfinal match between Athena and Mina, that one got a 6.67, which is like, why? That match was great. And it's stuff like this is why I can see Tony going, man, what do I do? Nobody likes my women's matches. So yeah, I can see that he's a rock in a hard place. I hope this is just, I don't know why this is the way it is, but are people just upset because it's the only match on here for the women, so they're downvoting it? I don't know. I don't understand why you give that match a 6.67. 6.7. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, so we got Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't care. I don't care, because Kyle was the better man in this match. Lost anyway to some hokey doke half-ass ankle lock that he grabbed after Kyle had him in an actual stronger ankle lock. And a guy just grabbing your ankle and trying his best from a weird angle won the match with it? I don't know. It just felt like Jon Moxley wins, LOL. I'm fucking sick of this dude. Welcome to the Jon Moxley hate show. So here he is, coming to ring there. I just wanted to see him get the American History X, see how he fucking likes it. Also, is anybody else not weirded out by the, like, inspiration behind this gimmick and character and stable? Is that okay with everybody that his stable's based on American History X, and until they changed it into an owl because, yeah, it was a fucking eagle at first? It just bothers me? Okay. Fuck Jon Moxley. Go on vacation, go away. I think I need time away from him. And Jon Moxley shakes Kyle's hand, and even Kyle has a look on his face like, this is bullshit that I lost, but whatever, man, I'm gonna shake your hand because I'm a bigger person. It just felt like that one time where freaking what is the monster that Bray Wyatt played when he had the mask with the teeth? it just looks like that guy. It looks like Bray Wyatt looking into the camera when he's about to be smashed by Goldberg. Sorry. So he looks in the camera like, you seeing this shit? You really think I should be losing this match? I'm gonna, but it don't make no goddamn sense. And then he got squashed by Goldberg. That's what that look that Kyle had looking at John looked like. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of the Continental title. I'm tired of all of this. John Moxley, go on vacation. But moving on. I don't even. That match for me. I feel like just because of the way it ended, I soured that shit for me. That match has got to be like a C, solid C. Let's see what Cage Match said. Cage Match said 7.76. For some reason, Cage Match was like, hell yeah, that match is better than Athena versus Mina Shirakawa, and I don't see it. I get it. It's probably people who are probably like, I love catch as catch can wrestling. Yeah, it's just Moxley's not good at it. So we disagree for the first time. Cage Match. But anyway, we got Joe versus I'm sorry, I feel like I have to burp, but I'm trying my hardest to not burp. Okay, Joe versus Will. And this was the whole match. Just this one move. That's it. That was the whole match. Joe was being Joe the whole time, and Will just wasn't prepared for it. That's just not what he came to do. And that's the thing. He tried his Moxley stuff, and none of it worked. The only thing that even sort of worked a little bit was his own shit. The only time he got a one-over on Joe was when he elevated on his ass. Whenever he tried to do, Moxley shit, Samoa Joe grapples all the time. He's ready for that. And it kind of just makes Will look like, damn, I should have went with the Ops because they could have taught me something I could actually use. Unlike Mox, who just taught me how to get beat up. Because that's all they do there. That's their training, is they just get beat up. And then, fucking Mox is like, yeah, aren't we the best, most strongest motherfuckers? And it's like, I guess you're the best at getting your ass beat. So big up to Will. I'm glad he won that match by elevating and not by moxing. And I hope he realizes that he needs to actually hook up with Samoa Joe and learn how to grapple on the ground if he's going to be grappling on the ground. Because Joe can do a more ground-based martial arts, mixed martial arts style, but he's still fun to watch. And I think that's overall the reason we're here, right? We're watching theater, and I want to be sports entertained. So I would go with the Ops. It's just, I don't think the Ops is helping anybody. I think the Ops is hurting more than helping anyone, and it's time for it to die, TBH. And I knew that all the people in the Death Riders or Death Rider adjacent would win their matches. So I just kind of shrugged and was like, mm-hmm. And the only match that Death Rider adjacent people lost was the Stadium Stampede, which, I think that the Elite has had probably the most appearances in those matches, and Jericho, so they're not gonna lose. They actually know how to fight those matches, and it's refreshing to kind of see that kind of thing. If you think about when Kane would have an Inferno match and he'd fucking lose every single one of them, probably because Kane had a sleeve you can put flame retardant material under, but he lost all of them, and they were like, "Oh, it's his signature match. He's a shoo-in to win this." Is he? He never wins them. So yeah, that match was fine. Like, I don't really have much to say about it other than I love the story in this match. Actually, this match is the best story, I think, of the night in the match. I mean, so you got Swerve is incredible. Look at that. That's incredible. That's some fucking Naruto shit. Incredible, Swerve. Speaking of other properties, your boy is dressed like Michael Jackson. I didn't know at first. I was in the bathroom when he came out, so I didn't see his entrance. But I did see his, I asked, hey, what is he supposed to be dressed as? And then I noticed, on his side, it's written, Dangerous is written the way Michael Jackson used to write his signatures. He has the socks with the black boots, and apparently he came in with the Beat It jacket, which for some reason, Beat It is back in the zeitgeist. And I understand that the Michael Jackson movie just came out, but Beat It as a song has been popping up on like my shuffle and constantly, and I don't know why. It's just it's back, baby. The algorithm is like, I guess, trying to promote the movie. But yeah, big fan of this Michael Jackson outfit. Love the see the signature there. It reminded me of the, if you ever seen Moonwalker promotions or whatever it was. I think Michael Jackson has his own company called Moonwalker, and the logo is like his shoes. So like that's and his signature from what I remember. And also Dangerous was a name of a Michael Jackson song. I'm not sure if it was an album, but I do know it was a song. So I thought all of this was great. I love the outfit. He always kills it on pay-per-views with outfits. Last time he was Candyman, which as a lifetime fearer of Candyman, I was not a fan of that. But this match was incredible. It was lucha. Lucha! And I love that Swerve, remembered how to lucha. I also love this cell from Bandito doing the suplex after he hurt his own neck. This cell's incredible. He does the Devon seizure cell about falling on his neck. And meanwhile, Swerve over here cheesing in the cut about it. Cheesing. So yeah, I love the story in this match too. I love that Swerve used his brains to win this match instead of being, trying to go brute force. I'm dangerous. I'm brute forcing this. He used his brain. I'm a big fan of noggin wrestling. I forgot to rate Joe versus Ospreay. I got to give that match, man, probably an A. Just a standard A, I think. It was a great match, told a great story. Cage match, gave it an 8.56, which is probably a little less than mine. That's probably what, like a 85 is probably an A. So I think we're on the same page. Then the Swerve versus Bandito match, which is also for the Owen. And I was right about this one. I predicted this one correctly in that Swerve is now going to fight Brody probably. So I have no faith in whoever Brody is facing in the Owen at all. Because this match needs to happen now. And I don't know what happens. I honestly think Brody should win that match. But then what do you do with Swerve? Maybe you can do a story where Swerve is lost without Hangman. That would be an interesting story of Swerve needing to repent for his sins and Hangman helping him. That would be an interesting story, and I can see them doing that through the summer if you want to progress the story with Bandito, actually, with the story with Brody actually, coming into his own and finally becoming a superstar. I think it's time we pulled the trigger on Brody already. People love him. And unfortunately, the love is starting to wane. Like, there's not a lot. Brody's reactions aren't as hot as they were, and I really, really think you should have pulled the trigger then, Tony. You got to strike while the iron is hot, not when the iron is cooling off and lukewarm. And with that, we'll be right back for a second. And we're back. Okay, so yeah, thought this match was good. Gotta give it a it has an 8.62. Honestly, I thought it was a good match, but I don't know, something felt like it was lacking. I loved all the lucha stuff, but I gotta give this one an A minus. So I'm slightly different here than Cage Match, who got it 8.62. But you know, they all can't be the best match of the night. Tekla versus Shida versus Jamie versus Chris. I love this fatal four-way. I love that finally Jamie and Shida, not Jamie, sorry, Chris and Shida have finally started their arc. We can move on with that story now, even though I loved petty, passive-aggressive Hikaru Shida. It's probably the best gimmick she's ever had. I love her. I love that she's so petty. And I love that Chris has no time for it. She's like, really, this shit again? I love it. It's honestly the most entertaining that Chris has been for a while for me. I feel like Chris goes through waves of being entertaining and fun to watch, and this was fun. Her I'm tired of this shit gimmick is fantastic. And Tekla is always good. Like, what do I say here? Of course. And Jamie Hayter, I feel bad for Jamie Hayter because she's awesome too, but she's like barely in this storyline. But she brought it in this match, and I love that you had two big, like, heavy hitters against two smaller ladies, and it really worked out here, especially because we got to see a really cool spot like this. Let's see here if I can find the timestamp. Oh, this version of a crossface is amazing, by the way. I would never want to have this happen to me, and therefore it is good. All right, there we go. So this was awesome. She does her thing. We're all like, oh, Tekla being Tekla, cool spider shit. And then just picks her up and fucking drops her. It's it. It's a wrap. It's over. Or almost drops her. You know how it is. Sorry about that. Today is a noisy day. That's why I like to record these at night. Because, you know, the town isn't as active. But yeah, so she didn't drop her on her head, but she did stop her from doing her cool thing and just pick her up like she weighed nothing. That was incredibly impressive. There's also a shot where Tekla like stands up on the apron just using her core body strength, and I was like immensely impressed by that. Here it is. She's just being Tekla, and then just with her core, she stands up there like that. Incredible. I could never do that. This is the kind of image you need running in your head when you're at the gym. Like, I need to be as strong as Tekla. This match was fantastic. I feel like I felt really bad for Jamie. She kind of felt, even though she had a good place in the match, I don't know, something felt a little lacking. That match is only going to get probably like a B. I thought it could be so much more, but you know, what do you do? It was a fun little match, so I give it a B. Let's see what the so Cage Match gave it a 7.33, and I feel like that's about what I gave it, if not a little bit more. And then we have here we have my boy Mark Davis in a suit, all disheveled because he's Mark Davis, and he's just a guy you pulled out the Outback and put him in a suit, and he's like, I'm uncomfortable in this. We also have the hot dog himself, hot dogging it over there on the phone. Who do you think he's talking to over here? Who do you think he's on the phone with? I'd like to think that he's on the phone with what's his face from Roppongi Vice, the one that always eats the pins, you know. because that guy has his fingers in all the pies of all the wrestling promotions. And I think that if Rocky Romero, there he goes. I think Rocky Romero deserves a humanitarian award for how much and how well he's getting wrestling companies to work together. And I can see, Hot Dog on the phone with him talking about that very thing. But yeah, I love this sequence when everybody makes their entrance. It's badass. You got like Toa and the sunroof screaming was delightful. Toa is actually the MVP probably of the Stadium Stampede match. He was doing stuff with his strength that I just was like, damn, that's not a real thing a human can do, is it? I love Toa Leone. And I didn't expect him to be my favorite member of Demand. He's not yet. But Bishop Khan, you got a lot of work to do to just you can't just keep getting by on how handsome you are, okay? Because Toa Leone is handsome too, and he's very strong. We're gonna need more from Bishop Khan. But we got these guys arrived in a stretch Hummer, the main Don Callis family. That's why he's sticking out of the sunroof. Look how happy he is. What a happy dude. There's Mark Davis all disheveled, getting out of the thing. I love they're also arriving in the rain. There's the Murder Hawk Monster arriving in what looks like just a standard truck / Hummer situation. Andrade's in the limo. Ricochet was driving they were in the Hummer. I think Ricochet was driving the stretch Hummer. Awesome. And then you have this monstrosity that rolls up, that the freaking dogs show up in a monster truck. First of all, Finley, do you guys even have these in Europe, bro? You don't have monster trucks in Europe, do you? Also, I love that it has an underlight. I've never seen a monster truck with an underlight like this before. This is the coolest goddamn thing ever. And they all meet up in the street. The Demand has on Ikatsuki jerseys because they are black anime fans. And if there's anything we like, it's the Ikatsuki outfit. The Ikatsuki pattern, we just, as black people, just kind of co-opted it into our culture. Thank you, Japan. That's ours now. We'll take that. But I love that that's their outfits and that they have the number 3 on it because, the Demand. That's the hand sign. Why are you wearing a baseball outfit to a tennis stadium, Ricochet? I don't know, but here we are. Here we are. Including baseball outfit pants. I got to give him credit, though. His baseball pants way better than the ones that the actual baseball players wear that are see-through and you can see all their pillars and stones. So Ricochet actually went and got some decent pants. He didn't go to Fanatics for his pants. But yeah, I love that entrance. And then they were like, hey, we're not done with the entrances. We got a full other entrance to go. We got to introduce Team Omega, which it's Jericho's team actually, but I love this shot. And I love Kenny realizing that, I haven't smoked these in so long. It's not for me. But this shot of them all together, awesome, dope shit. I love the cinematography here. Whoever's doing all of AEW cinematography, I don't know if it's Darby. I know Darby's pretty busy. If it's sick Nick Mondo, if he's got a job doing cinematography for AEW, good on you. Whoever's doing it, please, they need a raise, please. Gotta love that Jack also brought his knife to this event. There's Kenny, who not used to smoking cigars anymore. I love these guys, and this moment though is probably my favorite moment of this particular vignette, when everybody put their hands in, and I was like, please put the cane in, and the motherfucker put the cane in. I love that also MVP was part of this match. He's come a long way and he deserves this. But then you had, me and my friends were watching the match, and we weren't sure if Toa lifted up 2 dudes or 3 dudes. 3 dudes, both Young Bucks and Jack Perry on the top. That's impressive. There's the 6 pairs of sneakers. He gave a freaking Samoan drop to 3 motherfuckers. Toa Leona is the coolest, bro. They also kill Clark Connors here. He like fucking dies. I will just show you his cell job of that. There he is. He ceases to be. Rest in peace to stupid, sexy fucking dog. This was awesome. I fucking love this. Clark Connor is too sexy. I love the Young Bucks' dumb little outfit when they wore their little tassels outside of it. Even though they're dressed like rich Young Bucks, the ones that, you know, we hate and can't stand, they said, nah, we're gonna Cucamonga it up and put some tassels on it. Love that. Let me see what else we got here, because there's a lot of stuff that happened. And stuff just kept happening. Things kept coming and they don't stop coming. So this is a one-winged angel through the table. I'm sorry, but this should have ended the match. I will have to dock points specifically because this should have been the end. So, sorry guys, just an A at the moment. Andrade is no longer with us. And then, also, speaking of being no longer with us, you had this shot, which you can probably already know what I'm pulling up. Mandem used Looney Tune tactics to get Mark Davis to stand in one spot while he ran him down with his buzz. I love wrestling. He didn't actually kill him. Jack Perry did not go and, check the body, check and see if he found a corpse. And that's his mistake. He learned a lesson today. Then this happened. Bobby is like, what in the hell? I don't know about anybody else. Fuck you if you don't like Lio Rush, this gimmick. But it's fantastic, and it's getting him on TV. Those are the two things that are most important. And he's amazing at it. And I love that Bobby has the reaction that we all do of, fuck this. And then he had the very black reaction of, I have to immediately escape. Also very good reactions that, we are in on that. And then Toa's like, I'm going to put a stop to this shit. And then he gets bitten. I wonder if he's now infected with whatever zombie virus that Leo is infected with. Because you need to get that treated, my boy. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, a food fight broke out because they ended up in catering. A random New York extra got some shine in the back, but mostly it's about Saddam Singh murdering everyone because he got food on his face. Why isn't this man on TV? I know he's probably doing it up in Ring of Honor, but from last time I saw him, he really improved. I want to see it, Tony. So yeah, give me more Saddam Singh. I think he's awesome. It has a lot of potential. For being such a big guy, to be able to move the way he does is very impressive. Then we remember that the reason Luther works here is because Jericho got him this job. Jericho and Luther are very close friends, so of course Luther has a giant tennis racket for his boy. For anybody confused as to why Luther was here, the thing you should really be confused about is why Luther has the giant tennis racket. That's the part that's like, what's happening here? So we got that. What else is my timestamps? Yes. Jericho decided, screw it, I'm going to turn on the ball machine. And the ball machine continued to shoot balls, even when he went over to pin Ricochet. I thought that was incredible. Please be careful. Those machines throw those balls real hard. Probably not a tennis machine. Tennis machines probably don't throw the balls as fast as a baseball machine. But still, be careful, guys. And then, I gotta give that match just an A because, like I said, that one-wing angel through the table should have done it. But yeah, A match. So I check on Cage Match, and Cage Match gives the match an 8.40. So that's about what I gave it. Again, we're on the same place, except we disagree on Moxley and the women's match. And that's about... I kind of expected that, honestly. For a fan base who claims to love the women's matches, they sure do not love the women's matches for some reason. They give them incredibly low ratings, and it's a bummer. But Max is smiling here because he just killed, or he just watched Darby kill himself. See, there's Darby. If I can, no, that's MJF. We know who that is. That's MJF and his evil, devilish grin. We want to see Darby, who was only laying out there dead because he flew out of the ring and neck first at the desk. That's not Max's fault. That's Darby's fault. And Max is like, oh, my hair is safe. I'm good. If this idiot keeps doing shit like this, my hair is safe. And guess what? Guess what, everybody? This idiot kept doing shit like this. And so we have this. Darby Allin, fun to watch, not smart. And you can tell that in the way he wrestles. MJF retains his hair as well. We did get to see somebody use the scaffold. My friends were like, I wonder if the scaffold's going to come into play, you know, in the Stadium Stampede match. Not this time. No, they were saving that spot for Darby, who is right here, if you're looking for him. So yeah, this was really cool. It looked really dangerous, and I thought the right person won this match. I got to give this match, it was all right. Honestly, I think some of the matches on the show already outclassed it. So, man, I think the right man won. The scaffold thing was cool, but I don't know. I feel like this match left a lot to be desired, and it's probably because Darby is fucking exhausted and in a lot of pain from going balls to the wall. And he went so balls to the wall, the wheels actually did fall off, and MJF walks away with his hair. If this teaches you anything, Darby, it's to wrestle smarter in matches with stakes, my boy. You should have learned that from that one Jeff Hardy match where he refused to escape the cage and instead did a spot, which I was on his side for, and I'm still on Jeff Hardy's side. But that did make him lose the match. Do understand that your actions have consequences, including on your own body. So yeah, I thought this show was fantastic. I gotta give this match, again, I feel like this match is like a B-. Like, it just wasn't the type of match these two could have. So I'm gonna scroll down and see what Cage Match thought. Wow, Cage Match thought way higher this match than me. Cage Match gave this match a 9, which, if it's in my scale, would probably be like an A+. You know, probably just a high A, like an A and a see me after class for an A, and I'm gonna call your parents, but not for anything bad, just to tell them you did really well on this test. Because you only get the see me after class pizza party if you get, like, you know, an A+. So this, yeah, they gave the call to the parents and said that, hey, your son had a great match. But with me, I don't know. I gotta say it's a B. I feel like it was, to borrow something from MJF, a little mid. The match wasn't bad. Do not take that to say this was bad. If a match for me was bad, it'll probably be like a C- or lower. This was a B. It's a fantastic match. Just, I don't know, man. Something about it. But I did get to see lots and lots of, like, cool stuff happening. And even I think I saw one of my friends in the crowd. Not one that told me they were going to the show, but I just was like, oh my god, that's a friend of mine that's in the crowd. So that was cool to see him on camera. They did one of those things where they put the camera on, like, in his face, and he's like, wow. So it was really cool to see him at the show. Love New York shows. Love New York. This show was fantastic. If I had to grade the whole show, this show was an A. Solid A show. And go out of your way to watch the Okada Takeshita match and the heartbreaking aftermath, because sometimes you need to have your heart broken. Sometimes you need to have suffering to have some joy. Sometimes you need a little rain to get the rainbow. But yeah, that's it for me today. I talked about this. Well, that's it for me talking about this show. There's still wrestling news I got to get to. Also, Kevin Knight is evil now. That also happened. But I want to talk more about this on after Wednesday when we get more information about what's going on. When he has his Why Kevin Why promo, then we'll get more into that. But let's talk about the news. And first, Nikki Cross and Damo of Wrestlers Are Stupid, I Don't Know What to Tell You fame, have acquired Progress Wrestling and co-ownership of Defy. This is huge. This feels like we're getting territories again, because we got we got My Little Pony Wrestling up here in Canada, and because they want to have, like, look, we want to have a super indie in this country and in this country and in this country, and we don't want WWE's grubby little greasy hands all over them. Yes, good, yes. I'm hoping that because Nikki Cross is part of these things, we'll have a lot less motherfuckers involved in the speaking out movements in Brit Rest going forward as well. So I'm very excited to see what the future holds for these two and their promotions. I'm excited to see if Progress makes a deal with AEW to get on my AEW, because that will be a really good acquisition, and it'll be a really good way to get your product in front of eyes. So I'm very hype about the future of wrestling and the future of wrestling outside of the World Wrestling Federation or the World Wrestling Entertainment, which that sounds fucking dumb. When you refer to them as an entity, calling them the World Wrestling Entertainment sounds so stupid. But we're going to talk about some WWE news, as you can see in my tabs. So we gotta hit the soundbite, if I can find it. Oh, there it is. Hey. So, and since we're here, I'm gonna go into my safe box down here. I could be in my safe ad box. So, Logan Paul tore his triceps, and lol, Lamau. I'm sorry. This is the first time a wrestling injury made me just kind of shrug and go, and that's that. That's me talking about the wrestling news for the for right now. I will see you guys on Thursday. If you're gonna retire, stay retired. I love you.